Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the weekly Levinson and Associates training series. So, as you know, we huddle up once a week and we try to come up with some great ideas, strategies, carriers, products, anything to help our agents, right, move the needle in a great way, especially for the new year, right? Here we are, just started February 2023, and you have to kind of keep your pulse on the industry, on consumers, on prospects, on life insurance carriers and products and know the ins and outs. And then, based on the feedback and statistics, right, that's how you need to gear marketing. That's how you need to change your toolbox, add to the toolbox, take away from the toolbox, whatever it is. But it's so important for us as an IMO, for you as an agent, right, to keep your pulse on the industry. And when you think about that and you think about, okay, what did I do last year, right? 2022, and what did I do the year before? And then, here we are in the new year, and what did I learn from those prior years, and what can I do different this year, right? You always have to take down notes, you always have to innovate, you always have to look forward, right, to see what's coming next. And we learn a lot from the insurance carriers, right? You should be learning a lot from us at the IMO level and the insurance carriers. And then we're all kind of looking down at the consumer bucket, right? And we're always saying, okay, what has the consumer behavior? What does that look like? And how can we change marketing techniques, right, to cater to the consumer bucket, right? To get the word out, to share the story, which is what all of this comes down to. So we study this 24/7, right? Because we have to be effective to come out with new training tools, products for you all to be successful. That's the way it works. So, anyway, my goal today is that you can walk away with some nuggets, a strategy that will help change the way you do business. And it doesn't matter what age group. I say this all the time. If you're 17 or 91, okay, and if you're in Key West or Cedar Rapids, Iowa, or San Francisco, shouldn't make a difference. We all are doing this for the same exact reason, right? To move the needle, help these families, and obviously help our own family by bringing in the income. Okay, it's a win-win-win across the board. So make sure, use that Q&A box, right? You have the question pane in front of you. Use that as we go. Andrew's going to do his best to answer all questions that come in, and then anyone we do not get to, we'll circle back after the webinar is over in about 50 minutes here. So what we're going to also do is a question of the day. So as soon as we wrap up, right before 4 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to ask our question. Whoever answers first and correctly wins the Fire 10 tablet, or I have an Amazon gift card or Apple AirPods. You get to pick. So if you answer first, we'll announce your name at the end, and then you tell us which incentive you would like. And of course, leave a comment on our Facebook page or Google reviews page, and we'll send you the IUL prospecting book on us. Okay, so as we jump in here, what we're talking about today is the Ringy CRM platform. They have made some changes, updates on their end that are so exciting. We teamed up, it's been almost a year ago now. And what's so neat about this, and for those of you that know me well, I'm all about technology and CRM tools and websites and Sure Me Now Direct. And it's just so crazy because, you think about all of our platforms that we offer, and it's literally mind-boggling. There's so many pieces, and we have to cater to everyone, right? It doesn't matter if you're focused on health, life, supplemental products, mainly annuities, whatever. We have to have something for everyone. And when you look back and you say, okay, 8 years ago, Levinson launched this Insure Me Now Direct platform, and they had one product, and people literally thought we were crazy. Okay, they said there's no way a consumer is going to log into a website at 2 a.m. They're going to run a quote, right? They're going to apply for the product and get an instant approval without any agent involvement. It's not going to happen. There's no way. And then the second challenge is good luck finding a carrier that's going to be okay with this process because the reinsurance companies aren't ready for that, right? So, long story short, we found a carrier, a product, right? Integrated that product into our platform, and Insure Me Now Direct was born. So, little by little, right, agents started buying into this and saying, wow, this could be great. I never thought this was possible. And long story short, today, right, fast forward 2023, we are adding our sixth carrier and 25th product onto the platform, which is unbelievable. Okay. And the reason why I'm telling you this is for a couple reasons, actually. Number one, we just added and are adding a carrier and 4 products that I'm going to talk about in a minute. And number two is if you're an agent, an IMO agency, whatever it is, and you have this idea, this thought, okay, it could be a marketing strategy, whatever it is, you got to run with it. You got to go with your gut, take a chance, okay, which is exactly what we did. And it panned out great for us because there's not another platform today, okay, 8 years later, that has anything close to this for insurance agents. Okay. Yes, they have direct to consumer platforms where they go direct to consumer. They typically have one carrier. Okay. Or it's a multi carrier platform, but the agents get a referral fee. Okay. Which is asinine to me. That is ridiculous. You never want to be an agent sending your clients to a platform where you are not agent of record. That's backwards. You're not building a book. In fact, you're building their book. So my point is you have this idea. It feels right in your gut. You run with it. Okay. And Bradley, who's the CEO of Ringy, who's on with us today. Okay. We have Carlos and Brad that are coming on in a few more minutes. But he had this idea, very similar, right? Had this idea years ago. And he said, you know what? I'm using something now. I can make this better. And he believed in himself and he invested in himself and he put in the crazy hours, right? And obviously it took more and more investment dollars, but built this dream. And here they are today in the insurance space. There's nothing like this, not even close to this. And it was great a year ago, but now they're adding this new power dialer. I don't want to steal any of their thunder, okay, but it's even better. It's kind of like Ringy on steroids part 2. And we have an exclusive partnership with them where our agents get a 2-week free trial. And if they want to jump in and subscribe, there's no contract. They can go month to month, $69 a month for the first 6 months. That's only for Levinson agents. So this is a great opportunity. And we don't make a penny, 1 penny, if you subscribe. Number one, I think that's important. We make our money when you, the agent out there, from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, right, jump in and say, you know what, I want to use your database through Agency Automator. I want to use Ringy. I want to sell more product. When you start selling more product, we make more money. Okay, it's not some secret sauce. That's the way it works. Okay, so I know Ringy works, and I know once we get it out there to the masses, which, by the way, we already have thousands of agents that are using the platform. We have 22,000 agents total, but we're seeing such great success that obviously we want to market it and push it even more, and that's why we're back on early 23, bringing this out again to all Levinson agents, okay? Because it's a no-brainer. We use it for agents to recruit agents through our social media pages. That's how I know it works wonderful. 20-30% average of the agents that we put into Ringy set up an appointment to speak further through our shared calendar. So again, proof is in the pudding. All right, I know I got a little off topic here, but it's very, very important stuff if you want to grow your business in 23 and in the future. Let's keep moving forward. So real quick, what I want to show you now is, as you know, we're part of the NALBA and LIMRA Association, which is basically made up of independent brokerage IMOs all over the country. So we're part of this association, and obviously we get to see the survey results and then kind of get different IMOs' opinions on what the future will look like for the insurance space. And these are just a couple things that I wanted to point out when we talk about the new year, right? And how we need to gear ourselves, our business model, our marketing model, right? It should be based off survey results that are facts. Okay, this isn't just opinion, these are facts. So, continued record sales on both protection focused products and accumulation products. So, this tells me IUL is going to be a game changer because of we know what's going on in the market, right? For 23, just under that, increased popularity around living benefits and LB riders. Okay, that's been increasing over the years, but even more so now in 23. More carriers opting to use alternative sources of electronic underwriting data. So we all know what's going on in the underwriting space, right? Things have changed since COVID. And here's what I thought was interesting. Good point here. So I had breakfast 2 days ago with the CFO of Assurity Life. And what he said to me, and they spend big money on statistics, raw data, survey results, because they're a huge, right, billion-dollar company, in fact, made up of several companies, and they spend literally millions and millions of dollars, right, for results, for data. And then they turn around and spend that money on marketing to get the word out. So, what's interesting is he said, based on our research, he said, what's crazy, Bill, is you would think that as the number of consumers that go online, now when I say online, I mean wind up on a website, they have no idea who it is to buy a policy, okay, is actually going down. The percentage of consumers the number is going down, where you would say, okay, this consumer is going to land on website B and buy a policy. He said the percentage of consumers where it's going way up is when a consumer knows an agent is behind the life insurance sale. So what that says to us is, yes, they love the drop ticket convenience, right? They love to be able to go on Insure Me Now Direct and quote and buy a policy and get an instant approval. But they need to feel the sense of comfort knowing an agent is behind this. They need to know they can call Bill Levinson or Lisa Smith or whoever, right, when there's a beneficiary change or for an annual policy review. So he said that's where our marketing is focused and our dollars are being directed. Okay, so I thought that was interesting because everybody thought years ago with all these startup tech companies that everything was going to be 100% online. And it's close to that, but they still want to see agent involvement as far as the consumers are concerned. So very interesting stuff there. Obviously, COVID, right, is peaked consumer awareness to buy life insurance. And what we noticed, and I think this is a common theme, the younger generation now, right, knows about the basics. They're doing their homework. It's not uncommon to see a 20-year-old, a 30-year-old say, wait a minute, what is an IUL? I heard about this, and can you run a quote for me? Okay, so that has skyrocketed. And then real fast, sales of life insurance were up 5% last year. Premium amounts increased by over 20%, and we all know COVID has a lot to do with that. Okay, and then last year, I'll mention real fast, that guaranteed fixed annuity rates will continue to remain higher than they have been in many years. So we know the annuity market is on fire right now, and we geared up exactly for that, right? Because remember what I said earlier, you have to know where the consumer behavior patterns are going, and then we cater to the consumer's preference, right? And that's how we become successful. We do it with agents. You need to do it with consumers. Okay, let's keep moving along. So based on the annuity peak, which we know what's going on with rates and bonuses right now. So real fast, we did this backed by popular demand, Jimmy Buffett, Margaritaville cruise, 5-day cruise, all inclusive. You write a minimum of $500,000 with FIA premium. You are in. On the right-hand side, MIGAs are on fire right now. MIGA rates, in fact, we send out the annuity alert every Monday with our hottest MIGA rates. Minimum $550,000 of premium and you get a free batch of annuity mailers. In fact, 1,000 mailers, $600 value, and they're focused just on financial services and annuities. So great door openers. Let's keep moving along. Our Levinson Expo is around the corner now, just a couple months away, and I hope you RSVP'd because we are close to our maximum number of 300 agents allowed in the room. So hopefully you RSVP'd. If not, do it as soon as we hang up today's call, and then you can see our qualification period. So it's free for everyone, but a minimum of 25,000. We pay for one night at our beachfront location. 50,000 is one night plus round trip airfare. 60,000 is two nights right on the beach plus round trip airfare. So if you qualified or you're close, obviously you want to put your foot on the gas and make sure you hit those numbers, and it'll be a nice weekend stay on us. And April 21st, Friday, will be a day full of sales strategies, sales ideas. We even have an agent panel this year. We handpicked some of our top agents. We're going to have them up on stage. We're going to do like a roundtable discussion hosted by me and Carrie. It's going to be an awesome day. And if you've been to prior expos, this is going to be very, very different. So hopefully you are there. It's South Florida, April 21. Get that RSVP in ASAP, okay? Well worth the drive, the plane ride in, whatever it is. I promise you that. Okay, let's keep going forward. What's new at Levinson? So we are constantly changing the landscape for agents in a great way. We have to make sure that this what's new page is filled with new bullets literally every week, or else we're doing something wrong, right? Because if you're floating, you're going in reverse, right? You have to be climbing 24/7. Always come up with new ideas, strategies, right? That's the name of the game. You know how that works. That's exactly how Levinson operates. That's how Ringy operates. In fact, that's why we invited them back on today's webinar, because they have some new bullets to talk about, okay, including the power dialer. So it's constant and never-ending improvement. That's how Tony Robbins says it, and that's what we believe in. Carrier incentives are on the left-hand side. Middle section is carrier updates. On the right section is all of the Levinson value add and training. Carrie's Corner, back out. Bill Levinson Experience podcast is every single month. Okay, great training tool, especially for the newer agents. And then real fast, I want to move over to the middle section. We have the 4 new products that are being added to Insure Me Now Direct as we speak. And then the Allianz IUL in the middle there. That product is on fire right now. And don't forget, they have the underwriting credit program, okay, where they literally bump your clients up 2 classes, doesn't matter smoker or non-smoker, okay, plus the participation rate over 300%, the fixed bucket interest rate 5%. I mean, this product, I don't know how long it's going to last, but right now you got to quote it and run with this Allianz IUL, because I've never seen anything like it. And again, it might only last for a few months. We don't know. We don't have a hard stop date yet, but we will let you know what happens with that. Okay, I have one slide left, and then Carlos is going to take the wheel. So real fast, I am extremely excited about this, because you know my Insure Me Now Direct goals, my dreams with this, like I said, started 8 years ago. And we kind of had a little challenge in the earlier years because we didn't have a great carrier and a great product, right? Because the carrier, the reinsurance companies, were not comfortable letting us have a product that could be sold 100% direct to consumer. Okay, I touched on it earlier. So now, fast forward, we have the direct contract with Assurity Life, and we have 4 new products that we're launching in a week to 2 weeks. In fact, we're going to have the rollout webinar next week. We'll talk about that towards the end. But check out this product portfolio, okay? What we're starting to see is a shift now. So what we're seeing are very competitive, fully underwritten type products on a platform That's 100% direct to consumer. Okay? Instant decision. So again, sell while you sleep, 2 a.m., right? You're sleeping, you wake up at 7, you have 3 products, policies sold. Your agent of record plus renewals. This is a no brainer now. This became huge. Now, you pair this up with your social media marketing through Ringy. This is a win win win. Okay? Term, real fast, left hand side, term to $1 million. Disability now on the platform, up to $4,000 a month, issue age to 60. Critical illness now, right? Instant decision, 75,000, a total benefit up to 500,000, issue age to 70. AD&D straight up guaranteed issue up to 350. Check this out. Every product has an ROP feature that you can add on, okay? And all 4 products, SAGE scholarship approved. 444 colleges are in the program today across the country. 444 colleges. This is free. This is a free add on. Anyone that goes to your site, runs a quote, buys a product, boom, they have a 1 year scholarship for little Shelly or Lisa or Johnny, okay, for their kids and grandkids, any blood relative. Do you see the value add here? And by the way, these are Assurity Life products, okay? There's no built-in fat for premium because of underwriting issues. These are the fully underwritten competitive products, okay? But now instant decision direct to consumer. So that's why I say the dream came true. I mean, this is huge. This wasn't, I mean, you talk about this 4 or 5 years ago at a NALBA or LIMRA meeting, they would have said it is never going to happen. There's no way. Well, it happened. Today it happened. Okay, our 6th carrier on the platform, and I'm extremely excited. All right, enough of my ranting. I want to jump into our featured presentation. We have Mr. Carlos Correa joining us, Director of Sales and Marketing at Ringy. So, Carlos, you there? You want to take the wheel, bud?
Yep, and thank you for the intro. Hello, everybody. I'm sure a lot of you that have been on before have heard me talk before as well. I have a special treat today as I will be having Bradley join us, who is our founder and CEO. He's going to actually show a new product that we've been working on for quite some time now, and we're getting pretty close to the release stage. So you guys are going to get a sneak peek. It's not released to the public yet. We do have a beta group of roughly 80 to 90 users on it. They're insurance agents like yourself from all parts of the country, and they're providing us the feedback, kind of like with Ringy CRM, to make sure that when we do release it, it is something that everyone is going to benefit from. I will go ahead and address the elephant in the room. I'm sure a lot of you probably aren't even seeing this yet, but we did have to do a slight increase of 10% on our subscription cost. Real simple. Obviously, it's a little more expensive to live these days, which is why you should sell some more policies to your clients. But of course, inflation, we have a lot going on, a lot of features that are being released, and that, of course, involves us hiring more. So we've never had a price increase. So those of you that maybe got the email, or if you've dabbled on our website, you'll see that. That's a little bit of why we raised it. We didn't go too crazy, but we did raise it 10%. If you go on the pricing page, for those of you that are non-Ringy users, we did come up with the idea and the decision to make sure you guys are still getting that $69 a month price point, right? So it's actually now a 40% discount as opposed to the 30 for the first 6 months. So we decided that for Levinson only, and Levinson agents, you guys will be getting that discount. Nothing's going to change for the first 6 months for you. After the 6 months, there is going to be that slight increase of $10 a month. But of course, that is just so allow us to create a better software for you guys. And of course, the dialer that involves more manpower, woman power. So a little bit about why that price increase occurred. Also on our pricing page is something I just had added. Spent a lot of time on it, actually. A lot of research was involved. For those of you that don't use any technology at all, or maybe you are using other softwares, we have a list of every software capability that Ringy has. So anything you see here under feature, we have this built into Ringy already, right? A lot of the clients that I speak to, my account executives speak to, are using a handful of these at once, right? That alone is a problem because now you're using 5, 6 different softwares to manage your business. It's all in one and within our platform, right? On top of that, there's added costs, right? These are mean averages amongst all of the companies you see here, softwares you see here. But as you can see, if you were to do all of this, right? And this is all in Ringy already, right? We have a booking page, we have video and conferencing, screen sharing, integrations, mobile app, of course, SMS, email, call recording, all of that you see there. On average, it's going to cost somebody roughly $2,000 a month if they're using separate softwares to manage their business, right? Now, I'm not saying everyone is using every single feature here, but let's say you're using a third of that, right? You could do the math, right? A third of $2,000 is roughly what it would cost you if you're using technology to leverage your business. And as you can see here, it's what it costs with us, right? We do that on purpose. We could be greedy and charge probably double the triple. In conversations I've had with multiple consultants and different people in our industry, we're really inexpensive, right? And we get asked that all the time. Why don't you charge more? How come your software doesn't? You aren't charging more? You guys would make way more. That's not what we're about. We'd rather be that software that's affordable for everyone, and that's kind of how we've grown, right? So take a look at this next time you go to our website. It's all pretty insightful when you see all of this, because I'm sure you're using a couple of these if you're not using Ringy, right? Or maybe you were before and you can say, yeah, he's right, right? So that's a little bit there. That's on our new pricing page, and a little bit about the increase. As I stated, we're keeping it the same for you guys for 6 months. So we actually increased that discount to 40%, 6 months. I think you can get this directly from your agent portal through Levinston, but just so you see here. And then I won't do a demo today since we're close on time, and I want to let Bradley give you a sneak peek of the dialer. But for those of you that have never seen Ringy, this is kind of what it looks like here. The nice thing about dialer, when it is released, it's just going to be a new page on Ringy's dashboard. So you're not going to have one tab open for Ringy CRM, one tab open for the dialer. We've actually integrated it into the software itself, and it'll just be an option for you to click if you do have the dialer. Now, I'll touch on the dialer briefly before Bradley goes into his sneak peek so you can actually see what it looks like. But the dialer was created not as an alternative to Ringy, but really just something that we thought of as an option, right? As we grew, we noticed there's not one profile for a client. Some clients don't want to talk to anyone. They just want to create a booking page, send some text messages out, some emails, let them book, and handle their appointments that way, right? And that's fine. It is very effective to do business that way. Research shows SMS is always going to trump anything these days as far as getting in contact with your clients. But we also have a lot of business models, a lot of GAs, a lot of team leaders, managers that still are call heavy, and that's fine as well. If your model is dialing, that's what you do. That's the most efficient way for you. You prefer to get people on the phone than to have a setup with text message. That's okay too, and that's why we came up with a dialer, right? We have dialing capabilities within Ringy, right? So we certainly do. We have your sales pipeline here where you can filter your leads. Those leads will go into respective what we call buckets or stages, and you can dial through them, right? Just like I'll show here, you start dialing. You can select how many times you want to call each lead before it moves on to the next lead, etc. So we do have dialing capabilities, but it's not a pure power dialer by definition, right? I'll let Bradley kind of give you a definition of what a power dialer is. So for my managers on here, agency owners, team leaders, the benefit of having a dialer is mainly to get productivity out of your team, right? Because now you can upload files and files, or maybe you have a direct integration with the lead vendor and just have your leads funneled into a system. And then there's an algorithm within that dialer that you set up on your own. You decide the rules, whatever you want it to be, however you want your business to operate, and it'll distribute those leads to your team. And then your team can dial through those leads way more efficiently on a dialer, right? we've always been an SMS heavy platform, and we always will be, because that's just the trend that that business is going these days. But it is nice to have the option where some days you just want to dial, right? We have companies that we work with that have designated dial days where all they do for 1, 2, 3 days a week is just dial. They don't send text messages. They don't do anything else besides call leads and buckets of leads. So that's where we thought, hey, let's create a product where we can appease all types of clients, right? Some people are still in that way where they want to call. Let's give them a product. And that's where the dialer kind of was born. And we've been working on it for a long time. I'd say probably close to a year now from at least the thought of it coming out. The past quarter or so, 3, 4 months, we've gotten a lot of feedback from our beta group, which is close to 100 users, and they dial a lot. And when I say a lot, they're calling on average 500, 600 dials a day, right? And they've given us a lot of feedback, which is how this thing has kind of turned into what it's going to be. It's very close to being launched. Bradley, being the perfectionist that he is, he's just working on it day and night, and we want to make sure there's no bugs. It is technology. There are bugs that are hidden that you can't see until somebody uses it. That's kind of the point of the beta group. Different features that are being requested. And once we get that all pat down, which I don't think it'll take more than 2 more weeks, we're going to then release it to the public. We will have some sort of incentive for Levinson as well, which we'll discuss with Bill, but we haven't even really scraped the surface as far as what we're going to do as far as a combo pack, if you get both, what it's going to cost. What I can tell you is it'll be relatively close to what Ringy is as far as price point. But there's a lot of factors that go into it. We need a lot of data from our beta group to decide, what we can charge for it. But know that it'll be relatively close to what Ringy is. It won't be something that's triple, quadruple, or even double the cost. But we'll get that to you guys as soon as we know. But yeah, that's a little bit of how the dialer came about, what it's going to do. But enough of me blabbing about it. I'll let you see it yourself. I'll have Bradley go ahead and give you guys a sneak peek. His name is Bradley Kovacs, good friend of mine. He is the founder and the CEO, and also dubbed as a CTO as well. He's the lead engineer for the company, so he's in there in the trenches. He's not just a CEO that's giving people direction as to what to do. He designs and builds everything himself. So pleasure to have him on. I'm going to have him go ahead and show you our dialer. So go ahead, Bradley. Let me stop sharing here.
Cool. Thanks, Carlos.
No problem.
Hey, everyone. So yeah, I'm Bradley Kovacs. I am, as Carlos said, CEO and CTO of Ringy CRM. And I would like to share my screen with you. It says GoToMeeting would like to record this computer screen and audio, and I have to grant permission. My bad, I haven't used GoToMeeting too much. Let me just do that. Oh, Carlos, it says I have to quit and reopen GoToMeeting. I don't think that'll take very long. Let me just, okay, Carlos, do you mind if I hop out and then join again right away just so I can share my screen?
Yep, go for it.
All right, be right back.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. Of course, the software engineer is the one that has the issues with the technology. Yeah, we rarely use GoToWebinar. This is actually his first time using it, so forgive us for that. He'll jump right back on, and I'll give you guys a sneak peek at it. You'll be only the second group that has actually even had eyes on this dialer. The only other group that has seen it other than internally is our beta group. So I'm pretty excited for you guys to see it. I would recommend, or not recommend, I would ask actually if you guys could give us feedback after Bradley goes through it with you, just whether you like it, what you think we should add, if anything, anything like that. We're very open to the feedback. So yeah, if you guys can do that, that would be amazing. And then we'll certainly work something out with Bill once you guys take a look at it and see, you know, what you think. But I think this is going to be big for teams, for agency owners, even if it's just yourself, but you're dealing with a lot of leads and you want an efficient way to dial through them. I talk to a lot of people that are still hand dialing. So yeah, if you guys can give us some feedback, if you want to send it to myself, it's carlos@ringy.com, or if you want to pass it along to your team. That's kind of the point of showing you guys this. So it looks like Bradley has it figured out. So I'm going to give him the reins back.
All right, cool. Thank you, Carlos, and sorry about that. So yeah, like I said, like Carlos was saying, Power Dollar is our newest feature. We basically built it because people want to be able to throw a bunch of leads into a pool, for example, and have their team be able to dial through those leads. We might have anywhere from 200 to 500 people per team, all sharing leads and going through campaigns and dialing on them. So it's a pretty cool feature, although I might be biased to say that, but it can definitely increase your sales a lot. And it is different than other Power Dollars currently being used. Just some competitors of ours are VanillaSoft and PhoneBurner. You might be wondering what's different than this Power Dialer. Aren't all Power Dialers the same? Because technically, by definition, it's a dialer where it's basically defined by the lead routing rules, which I'll go over in a second. But basically, when you push preview next lead, the algorithm that determines which lead to pull for you at that specific time for that agent, that's what makes it Power Dialer. So, and I would say it's different because I put a lot more thought into the design of that specific algorithm. And I just thought about it a lot harder and thought I didn't like how the other systems made their algorithm. It was really weird to me. One example of that is some of our competitors assign leads to users or agents right when the lead comes in. I thought that was kind of weird because you don't know that the agent's on the computer ready to work that lead right away. My system doesn't do that. It assigns the lead right when you push preview next lead, which I don't know if that's the reason why, but one of our beta testers is putting leads from the same vendor in our system, our Power Dialer, and one of our competitors, which they've used forever. And mine's generating substantially more sales, like way more. I couldn't believe it. I expected to do at least equal, but yeah, I was pretty surprised when he told me how many deals people are closing on it. So without further ado, I guess I would show you a little sneak preview of the Power Dialer. So how it works is you create campaigns and you put leads into those campaigns, and then agents are assigned to those campaigns. So they can be on multiple campaigns or just one or none. So let's just say you choose a campaign, right? This is just an example account. And all the data you see here, everyone, it's test data, just fake dummy data. So don't try to call any of these leads. So once you select your campaign, you basically push preview next lead. And yeah, it basically determined that this is the next lead that should be shown on my screen for whatever reason that is. And you can see up here, there are some rules. I can't just move on because I don't like this lead and I don't want to work on it. I actually have to do stuff before I'm able to move on to the next lead. Even though I refresh the page, it will keep pulling this lead until I work it. But yeah, this is pretty much what it looks like. This is, in essence, the Power Dialer. So you're looking at the leads profile, Power Dialer settings, and you can, you could, like, when you push preview next lead, you can make it call automatically by just turning the switch on. You can even customize it so much as to say, call each lead 3 times automatically in a row, and it'll do that for you. And of course, you can stop dialing if you want just by pushing this button. But yeah, it's super customizable. A lot of people really like it. I'm gonna turn this feature off for now because I don't want it to dial any leads. But it just goes to show you the flexibility that it gives you when you're dialing through your leads.
And Brad, if I can chime in really quick, a lot of the thought and interface with the dialer as well is very relatable to Ringy. So for example, under where it says Noel Grant, the actual, lead's name, there are some icons there that are making it very easy for you to manage functions on that lead as well. If you want to start a video conference, you just click the camera. If you want to send them a text message, you just click the text message icon. If you want to send them an email, you kind of get the point. So we've made it just one click, right? Pretty simple for you to figure out there. So a lot of it, for those of you that are using Ringy currently, you'll see that a lot of the capabilities that you have in Ringy, we've also kind of mirrored onto the dialer so that you don't lose some of the functionality or a lot of the functionality that was already available in Ringy. So I just wanted to touch on that. Sorry for interrupting, Brad, but yeah, go ahead.
Actually, that is a great point. If you do currently use Ringy, you might notice that the leads profile, this section here, looks quite a bit different than what it does in Ringy now. This is actually the new design that's coming out after this is released, so kind of get a sneak preview on that too. But yeah, it doesn't incorporate all the other features of Ringy. For example, if you set up your booking page, which I have mine set up here, so basically it's a link that you send your leads and they can book an appointment with you themselves just by selecting a time slot. And all this is set up by you. You can customize this page pretty much however you want. But how that ties into Power Dialer is maybe you're dialing leads, you want to schedule an appointment. Oh, it says my booking page is not set up yet. Because just so you know, this is a demo account, so it does have some weird side effects every now and then. I guess this is one of the weird side effects, but this is not that important. It's just the booking page form. But pretty much you can book an appointment with a lead. It'll send you a reminder text and email. It'll send the lead a reminder text and email. It'll email them a link where they can reschedule it if they want, and it'll notify you if they reschedule it. It integrates to your calendar, your Google Calendar. So you got a lot of pretty cool features from Ringy are incorporated into this dialer. Now you might, one of the things this Power Dialer is based on is, like I said before, lead routing rules. And the leads get routed based on the status you choose. So these 5 statuses here, I made these. And basically they, when I click one of them, that's what determines when the lead will be chosen next. For example, if I push bad number, it probably won't ever come up in Power Dialer for anyone again. If I push try again later, it might come up in Power Dialer. Let's see what my routing rule is. It'll come up right away actually, but maybe I don't want it to come up right away. Maybe I want it to come up in 30 minutes. To do that, I would just edit the routing rules, which are right here. You can have as many as you want, and you just save it like that. And now if I push try again later, this lead will not pop up for another 30 minutes. Lot of customization. I don't want to go over it too much because I know it can be a little overwhelming, but maybe you want to find some more info about the person, maybe see if they have additional phone numbers, you can do that. This is all fake data, so maybe there's someone in the country whose name is Noel Grant, but just to show you what it can do. It also can Google search. I don't know about you, but if I was a salesperson, and I try to put myself in your guys' shoes when I designed this, I would want to Google someone before I call them, just to, I don't know, see where they live, see what they're up to, what they're like. So yeah, it has a couple of really cool features there. It also has a lot of, yeah.
Let me ask you a quick question real fast. So if you were to, let's say we have a newer agent listening right now, and you were explaining, how would you use or how would you look at and leverage Ringy versus the Power Dialer? Like, how would you look at each tool if you were talking to a new agent with us?
I will leverage it by uploading a bunch of leads into here and basically setting up my routing rules appropriately, and then basically dial those leads.
I'll chime in on that a little too, just because as much as I love Bradley, he's not the he wasn't born to sell.
True. That is very
so
true.
so I mean, if you're a new agent and you've never seen either one before, and you're kind of wondering like, should I use the CRM? Should I use the dialer? It really depends on one, where you're getting your leads from. Two, are you on a team? So if you're a new agent and you're, blessed enough to be on a team where they're providing you with leads, and you're getting them every day, I would say that the power dialer is a good option, because now you're going to be able to upload those leads that you're being provided, new or old, or age, I should say. And now you can call through them, right? Now, as you get better with that, that's also going to help you get more conversations off as far as people picking up the phone. And that's the route I would go if that was the setting I was in. Now, if you're a newer agent and you're kind of doing this thing on your own and you're purchasing leads, and maybe you're going to like networking events, you have digital ads, whatever it is, there's a bunch of different edge cases. But if you're kind of doing this thing on your own, you're running like a solo operation, then I think Ringy CRM would be more beneficial for you, because now you have the power of the automation, which is available within the dialer, but you don't really necessarily need to dial, because now you're doing this on your own and you can upload them into the CRM, have those drip messages go out automatically to those leads. Most likely, if you're doing this on your own, you don't have hundreds or thousands of leads that are being provided to you. You're probably spending your own marketing budget on those leads, and you want to get the most ROI with the lowest CPA. And I would go with the CRM if that was the case, because now you're going to have every single lead contacted via text message on a set schedule that you determine. So it really depends how you come into this business. I know there's a lot of ways you can get into it. You can get contracted, run your own show, do it yourself, or you might join an agency that has a team of 10, 50, 100 agents, and you're blessed enough to have a leader who's providing you with 50 leads a day, or 200 leads a week. And at that point, you might want to give the dialer a go, because now you're going to be able to call through those a lot faster. So those are kind of my tips that I would give to a new agent coming in. I hope that answers that a little better, Bill.
Yeah, no. That was perfect. That was perfect. Thank you for that.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I think there's a lot to go into this. I'm sure we'll do another meeting with you guys once we release it. We're going to have a lot of onboarding features that are being worked on right now as well. One of the feedbacks that I got, one of the key pieces of feedback that I got back from some users, is that if you're new to technology, you've never used a software, it could be overwhelming and you find yourself at a standstill because you don't really know where to go next. We of course have our training videos, but something that one of our engineers is working on is an onboarding package, basically. So it's going to walk you through how to set everything up just by clicking buttons. It'll give you a next step type of guide. And we'll also have an interactive tutorial that walks you through it step by step, so that you're not missing any pieces, right? Similar to this, we're going to make it more pretty. But as you can see, this is kind of the concept. It's letting you know what everything is, where you need to go next, and it's going to be even more in depth than just these pop-ups that you see here. So for those of you that are, not really the greatest with technology, or you've never really leveraged it before, we've listened, and we know that that's a key part to being successful in technology. And that's a huge, huge project that we're working on right now that we're all really excited about, because we're basically making it so that, like Bill says always, a 17-year-old that's finishing his senior year in college or high school will be able to use, or somebody's grandmother who's in their 80s. That's, it's funny to hear, but that's really what we want. We want to make it so that every single person, regardless of your age, is going to be able to use Ringy, dialer, or CRM by just going through the tutorial. So we'll kind of cut it here. I know we're short on time as well. We'll host another one once we have those tutorials done, once the dialer is ready to go, and we'll show you guys the full package at that point as well. But I at least wanted everyone to kind of get a sneak peek, and let Bradley chime in on that. So thank you a lot, and thanks for letting us talk your ear off for the past 30, 40 minutes.
No, that was great. And what you just said at the end, Carlos, with that onboarding
Yep.
platform, that is key to make this entire program work, if it's the CRM or the dialer,
Sure.
because you're exactly right. A lot of the feedback is, I don't know where to start. I don't know, what's what, and I'm a subscriber. So I know you already have people to help with onboarding, live humans that jump on and jump in, which is great.
Yep.
But that will make a big difference. And I want everyone to know, and it's funny what Carlos said about the 17-year-old or the 92-year-old. Our largest case in history came from an 84-year-old. Okay, that was $1.27 million of annual target premium. So you can't ever count anyone out, right? And everyone's out there, and everyone's marketing to the same bucket of consumers. And where I see Ringy fit in, and it doesn't matter, the power dialer, the CRM, you have this huge bucket. You're dumping all these consumers and leads and friends and neighbors and people from the networking event. You're dumping everyone in this bucket. And then what Ringy does, I look at it like a sifter, okay? And basically it's keeping your name in front of these people by phone, email, text. And then the person on the other end finally says, it could be week 1 or week 17, it doesn't matter. They click on the calendar to set an appointment. All of a sudden you get a text message or a notification and you have a new appointment, a new sale. So that's how I look at Ringy, okay? And that's like kind of my 100-foot overview. We use it, like I said, for our new agents. And we have our social media ads. We get 20 to 50 new agent leads a day. And if it wasn't for Ringy organizing all of this for us, we would be lost. Or it would take, 5 to 7 employees to do all of the work. Instead, we have one person handling it with Ringy. So that's kind of, the wholesaling approach, but you should be using it just like that on the retail level. Okay, anyway, with that said, again, Carlos and Brad, thank you so much. I have a couple more slides here, and I want to show you, number one, how to fill the bucket with leads, okay, which is important. And, I want to mention also another note here. Carlos mentioned, if you're part of a team, we have 22,000 agents under us. And some of those are MGAs and GAs and teams. And, there's always, you get those free leads and you see all the marketing, and you always have to look at the fine print, ask the right questions, because a great team and good leads, do they exist? Sure. Okay, is your commission typically cut in half? Sure. But for you, it might be worth it. Okay, and we do have GAs that offer those types of platforms. But for the independent agent that's out there, okay, and you want to generate your own leads and you want to get your full direct commissions and advances and everything else, we have many ways to build that pipeline for you as well. And that's what I want to talk about next. So the Ringy CRM tool, once you say, hey, Bill, I want this 30%, now it's a 40% discount. Where do I go? Well, you have to be active with Levinson to get the discount. Once you are, click on tools. You'll see Ringy CRM. That's your sign up link. And boom, you're in. In fact, we have to update that is now 40% plus. You can also opt in for the 2-week free trial that doesn't cost you a penny. So either way, as long as you're active with us, you can sign up for either setup. Okay, let's keep moving along. What I want to show you real fast is our co-op social media lead program, which is awesome. And the reason why I say this is because most of our larger cases now are coming from these Facebook leads. Okay, and it's a no-brainer. You can work local leads, okay, within a 50-mile radius, or you can work the entire state. And if you're willing to work the state over the phone, virtual, obviously you get a discount of $10 per lead. And then once you opt in for the lead program, okay, per batch, you're saving about 10 to 20% versus the retail price. These leads also can be fed right into your Ringy CRM tool, so it's integrated. On the right-hand side, here's what I want to mention real fast. You talk about, building that pipeline. You have all these leads. Maybe you want to start up with this dialer once it's ready in a few weeks. Okay, we have these aged leads that are 6 to 18 months or 6 to 12 months, they're starting at like $2-3 a lead. So that's a great option. We have mortgage protection options and final expense as well, or exclusive leads if you want to go that route. But these vendors that we offer are vetted, and the co-op discount is a big leg up because you have to remember, it's like you are piggybacking off 22,000 agents. It's like buying power of Costco versus the neighborhood supermarket. Okay, so definitely worth a shot with these two programs. Plus, once you write at least 10,000 a premium in 12 months with us, you qualify for our free orphan leads, which those are a slam dunk. Okay, so if you qualify, if you're at that point, you let us know. We have the coupons on our site, and we'll include all of this in our thank you email. Okay, let's keep moving along. What I want to do next, I know we're running late. I'm going to be done in just a couple of minutes, and then we'll have our question of the day. I promised you all that I would jump on these weekly live trainings and give you examples of ways you can market yourself for free on social media and YouTube, right? And get creative and scrappy with your Facebook ads or YouTube videos, whatever it is. Okay, so I did this research in literally 2.5 minutes. Okay, so you can do this at any time, very simple. So this week, what I wanted to focus in on was indexed UL. IUL, right? We saw the stats in the beginning. That is the hot button for 23, period. Okay, and I showed you why, especially with that Allianz IUL, that the guaranteed fixed bucket rate plus the 2 health class bump up program. I mean, it's huge, but let's just look at some of these examples to give you an idea. So on the left side, right, this person, this agent, advisor, call it whatever you want, he put this post together and it says, do this instead of giving your kids an allowance. And basically, this is talking about funding an IUL for your children or grandchildren, right? And it shows you the difference of giving a $20 a week allowance versus putting that into an IUL. And then it has a chart behind it that shows the cash columns, making IUL the no-brainer, okay? And I wanted to show you this because it opens doors, it starts conversations. On the right side is the chart. Now, this is pretty interesting. It shows you on the left side, right, doing like a 20-year look back, the S&P on the left, and then IUL returns on the right. And then after the 20 years, look at the difference in cash, 300 and almost 50 grand versus 200,000. Okay, again, making IUL the no-brainer. One over from there, this is Casey the Dollar, right? This was her little creative, cute ad that talks about the 5 benefits of having an IUL, right? Tax-free retirement, living benefits, tax-free wealth transfer, immediate access to your money, never lose money because of a market decline. Why? Because zero is your hero. And now, think about this, 5% is your hero. Okay, talk about never losing money. So the waterline is higher now. Anyway, right-hand side, this is another example. So this guy, this agent, talks about IUL and putting in $100 a month and then all the way up to $10,000 a month, and then what the return is all the way over on the right-hand side, and then his bullet points. Money is accessible at any time. No taxes are owed in excess. Compounding interest starts in year 2. Let's go to year 2. That's the next slide over. So anyway, my point is you can get creative with this stuff, right? If it's living benefits, if it's IUL, if it's guaranteed return of premium, which is free insurance, if it's Insure Me Now Direct, right? And you're catering to the younger audience. Whatever it is, you've got to get creative and scrappy. And all I did was put in IUL, and there's an option, right? In Instagram or Facebook, you can put top or recent posts and check it out for yourself, okay? And I always say you don't have to reinvent the wheel, change a few spokes. The next slide is our co-branding resource center. This is where we can go in and create these ads and flyers for you, right? Everything's already here. You just pick, hey, I want to do living benefits, or I want to do IUL. And then we literally take your logo, your picture, phone number, email, website, and put it onto the flyer or video so you can start to market. And it's free. So once you're active, free with us. Then we have the 3-step for success rule, okay? And it's very simple. We're going to include all of this in our thank you email. Basically, we talk about getting your Ringy CRM tool set up, creating your social media and online presence, and then what can you do to separate yourself from the competitors out there. We have a ton of platforms that are exclusive to us. Okay, so again, a big leg up versus the competitors. We're just about done. Okay, Bill Levinson Experience. These are 2 podcast episodes that were awesome. So on the right side, that is where I sat down with Bradley and Carlos for an hour to talk all about Ringy from A to Z. We'll include this in the thank you email tonight. On the left side, that is our top highlights of 22, first podcast we did in 23, and it talks about everything Levinson has to offer and various platforms and tools, lead programs that you can leverage by being a Levinson agent. Okay, the next slide, and then we are going to put a bow on this, is our upcoming training event. So next week on the 9th, we are launching the Assurity and Insure Me Now Direct 4 new products, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And then above that, you'll see the agency automator trainings that go on every week. In fact, if you want a database of consumers, we have millions of consumers you can tap into. Okay, make sure you're on those trainings. And the last slide here in our question of the day is make sure your little fingers are on your keyboard and you're ready to answer, because you got to be quick. I'm going to tell you right now, we have hundreds and hundreds of agents on here live, so you got to be fast, and whoever answers first and correct wins. But before that, my Positive Tuesday quote is on the left side. You can read and listen to every book and audio book in the world, but until you can read yourself, nothing will change, folks. Okay? Know your weakness. Know your strong points. Okay? Be self-aware, and then you start reading and taking in all the nuggets and the knowledge and the wisdom, right? And that's how you get to the next level. But it starts with you. It starts with your gut, what's inside your head and your heart. Okay, figure that out. Then you go to step 2. With that said, our question of the day is, how many colleges are in our SAGE scholarship program? Okay, I said it earlier a couple times. Tell me that magic number. How many colleges do we have today in the SAGE scholarship program, which, by the way, comes free with 12 carriers that we offer here at Levinson. So you have a consumer that buys a product from any of those carriers. You give them for free 1-year scholarship. It doesn't cost you a penny, no commission reduction. What is the magic number? Andrew's going to tell us who was first and who was correct. Andrew, do we have a winner?
We do. It is Tim S. Tim S.
Tim S., congratulations, 444 colleges across the country. With that said, I hope everyone walked away with a nugget or 2. Questions, please let us know. Leave a review on the Facebook page, on our Google reviews page, okay, through our site. And you all win the IUL prospecting book on us, okay? We have agents that give those out to consumers, and it tees up the IUL appointment and hopefully the sale. Have a wonderful Thursday, great rest of the week, great selling, and thank you again for sitting with us this last hour and 7 minutes. Take care, and thanks again, everyone.